everyone, this is Alan. I'd like to thank you for finding my channel, Kindred Souls of Brooklyn. And I thought, folks, it would be a great idea to do a fun Halloween video on the Munsters versus the Addams Family. So are you a Munster person or an Addams Family? Let's see. Well, enough from me. Let's hear from Grandpa Munster.
Do I have something special for you today? This is the match of the century. Winner take all, loser leaves town, and there's no time.
In terms of the songs, both were kind of evenly matched. Both had really catchy songs. I mean, the Addams Family had the lyrics, but the Munsters had that catchy little beat going to it. But you know, both of these shows had a really strong Brooklyn connection. I mean, the Addams Family was originally drawn, it was a cartoon, a single frame cartoon that was done by a guy named Addams, and he was actually born in New Jersey. He actually spent a lot of time in Manhattan, a lot of time in Brooklyn, so there was a very strong Brooklyn feel and Brooklyn connection to the Addams Family. And of course, the Munsters had a tremendous Brooklyn connection because Al Lewis, who played Grandpa, was actually born in Brooklyn, and he had that Brooklyn accent and Brooklyn attitude. In fact, you're gonna love this. I actually found video of Al Lewis in 1989 or 1990 when he was a celebrity weatherman on Channel 11. The weatherman was sick, so they actually brought Al Lewis in because Al Lewis, remember, had, you know, he was always known as Grandpa, even though the show was only on for 2 years. He was always known as Grandpa. He had a restaurant in New York City. He was from Brooklyn, stayed true to his roots. So stay tuned. You're going to love this clip of Al Lewis on Channel 11 as a celebrity weatherman.
Bob Harris called in sick today, so we got ourselves a new weather forecast.
Yeah, get well, Bob.
Oh, I don't have to do any introduction. This is Grandpa Munster, Al Lewis.
Yeah, who'd you think it was?
You know, from the restaurant and the Munster series.
That's right.
And you're going to tell us
I'm going to tell you the weather.
It's all yours.
And do I have a surprise for you? You're not going to be disappointed. We have plenty of weather. What? The current condition? We're going to look at the satellite picture. Oh, I tell you, doesn't that look beautiful? Oh, my. I would like to have a picnic right over there. The other area, forget about the other area. Oh, the current. Let me tell you something. Today was a wonderful day. A little nippy, but wonderful. And wait till you see what tomorrow is going to be. Tomorrow is going to be beautiful. It's going to warm up. There'll be sun. Oh! It's wonderful, wonderful. Get out. I mean, put a coat on, a sweater underneath, and get out. Enjoy the weather. Now, I got to give them the 3-day forecast. That's 3 days from now is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Well, we may get a little bit of rain over there. Oh, I see it there. On Sunday, we may get a little rain, but that's all right, because it'll wash away the snow, right? Yeah. And Monday, the sun will be back. Oh, we're going to love it, love it. I mean, go to Central Park, row a boat, something. Get out in the air, something. My God, inhale all this bad air we got here so I can breathe some clean air, something. We got to get people in the street. I don't understand what's going on here. What do you want, Wednesday's weather? Tune in Monday. You'll get Wednesday's weather. I mean, how long you think I'm going to stand here like this here? What? Oh, you want to know the scores? Wait for Jerry. I'm not going to get the scores. I'm replacing Mr. Harris. Jerry is wonderful. I love him. He should have been a jockey. That's what he should have been. Wonderful. You know, you look a little bit like Banana Nose, Eddie Arcaro. You remember Eddie Arcaro? Great jockey, a great jockey. Anyway.
Grandpa, thank you. I think we got the message.
If there was any doubt that Al Lewis came from Brooklyn, I mean, you heard in that clip, he said, forget about it. I mean, only a Brooklyn person would say something like that. So I just think that was amazing. In terms of the original shows, the nod probably goes to more the not the Addams Family, the Munsters, between Al Lewis and Fred Gwynne, who played Herman Munster. I think the people from the original shows of those kind of stayed around a lot longer. I mean, if you don't remember, Fred Gwynne, who played Herman Munster, he was on Car 54, Where Are You, with Al Lewis. Later on, people knew him in a new generation. He was in the movie My Cousin Vinny. He played the judge. And when he said, you know, the famous line was 2 Utes. And I think I'll try to show you that if I can. But he was very popular. But going forward, I think it was probably the Addams Family was much more popular in terms of spin-offs, in terms of there was a lot more movies made from the Addams Family. In fact, right now, they're talking about making a new series on the Addams Family. I think it's definitely going to be in the works. Tim Burton is working on it, and popular opinion has it that the internet did a poll, and they want Johnny Depp to play the lead character of Gomez Addams.
The 2 Utes To what? Oh, what was that word?
What word?
To what?
What?
Did you say Utes?
Yeah, 2 youths.
What is a?
Oh, excuse me, Your Honor. 2 youths.
Is when we come to the nuts and bolts, pardon the expression for Herman, I think when we come to the nuts and bolts of it, what were the real differences between the Munsters and the Addams Family? And really what it came down to was the Munsters was more of a regular family. They were more of a middle-class family. If you remember, Herman worked at the funeral parlor, and Grandpa was always doing these crazy concoctions. I mean, but in reality, the Munsters were really monsters, because if you remember in the story, Lily was also a vampire, which a lot of people don't know and realize. Lily was Grandpa's daughter, and a lot of people forget that Grandpa actually built Herman for Lily as the husband. And also Eddie was a werewolf. And I love the episode when Eddie has the beard, and he grows the beard and it falls off in the soup because the soup is so strong. But whereas the Addams family were aristocrats. They weren't weirdos. They were weirdos in a sense that they were aristocrats from Spain, I think it was. And essentially they were inside their own little bubble. I mean, Wednesday had the dolls that she cut the heads off of, and Pugsley was always like a little bit sloppy. They had Cousin It. I mean, they had a lot of interesting things in the house. If you remember, the house was a museum where people come to see them. And I think that was really the big difference between the Addams Family and the Munsters, was that the Munsters was working class, and I think a lot of people associated more with that when we were growing up. And, they had regular common problems. They really wanted to try to fit in with society. They would give Eddie little lessons here and there. Whereas the Addams Family, they were more inside of a bubble. They had their big mansion. In fact, it was funny. If you remember the addresses now, the addresses were 1313 Mockingbird Lane was the Munsters address. But you didn't hear so much about the Addams Family address, but it was 001 Cemetery Lane, which I believe was their address. So I think that was really two of the big differences between the Munsters, was like their economic status and how they tried to fit in to regular society. Certainly as the years passed, I mean, the Addams Family has definitely withstood the test of time much better than the Munsters. I mean, the Munsters tried to do a few reboots. They had a reboot on 2017 where they tried to do a television show that was going to be set in New York City, actually in Brooklyn, and that really didn't work out. But the Addams Family had a couple of really popular movies back in the early 90s, with Raul Julia and Angelica Houston, and it was Addams Family Values was one of the movies, and both of those movies did really, really well. In fact, Christina Ricci launched her career. She did a fabulous portrayal as Wednesday. I think they rank it as in the top 100 kid performances of all time of her portrayal of Wednesday. So the Addams Family, it was also a Broadway play, the Addams Family. So I think the test of time has stood better for the Addams Family than the Munsters, but certainly when we were growing up, and certainly like the appeal to a kid, I think the Munsters had the edge in terms of that. But, they were both really fantastic. And, it's funny, according to Butch Patrick, who played Eddie from the Munsters, you'll never believe what show actually dethroned both the Munsters and the Addams Family. It was the same show, because the Munsters actually aired on CBS, and the Addams Family aired on ABC. And oddly enough, on ABC, when Batman and Robin came out, when the Batman show came out in 1966 in color, because both the Addams Family and the Munsters were done in black and white to keep that macabre feel to it, according to Butch Patrick, he says that it was Batman, believe it or not, who killed both of those shows. But I think, after 2 years, America was kind of getting tired of, the monster sitcoms, Another thing where I think the Munsters kind of had the lead over the Addams Family was the vehicles. The vehicles, Batman correlation again. George Barros, who did the Batmobile, also did the cars, also custom made the cars for the Munsters. You had Grandpa's coffin car, and you had the Munsters coach. In fact, there was even in 1964, they were even in the Macy's Day Parade, the Munsters were, Grandpa and Fred Gwynn driving in the Munsters coach. So, I guess it all depends. So I guess what family would you really want to be a part of? Would you want to be a Munster? Would you want to be an Addams?
Holy haberdashery! Holy popcorn! Holy flypaper! Holy Kofax! Holy Jack in the Box! Holy Ready!
Alrighty, folks. So if you still can't decide whether you want to be an Addams or a Munster. Hopefully this next mashup of photos and theme songs will help you decide. But before the mashup, folks, I'd like to thank you for joining me on this video. And please, folks, every 40 seconds someone commits suicide. We have a foundation for my son. It's called the Waffles Foundation. All the proceeds from this channel go to suicide prevention. So if you could please like, share this video, subscribe to the channel, it'll be very much appreciated. And if you could visit us at the Waffles Foundation, www.wafflesfoundation.org, we'd really appreciate it. And have a wonderful Halloween. Enjoy the mashup and decide whether you're an Addams or a Munster. Take care, folks.